When he read every book in the royal library, his magic surpassed every wizard. It began with a vow made by a 12-year-old orphan in the dust of the royal library. He swore he would read every book, all 47,892 of them. For 15 years, he read sunrise and candlelight, winter and summer. Now, at 27, he turned the final page. The library fell silent. A golden system prompt filled his vision. All books read, impossible dedication, reward, sum of all knowledge. The bookcases erupted with light. Thousands of pages flew into the air, and the library itself seemed to breathe. His eyes consumed the blue fire of old spells. His body became a nexus of ancient power. Beneath his feet, runes carved in stone ignited, spreading outward like a spiderweb of arcane light. The magic was a gift, but the library had not given it freely. Something ancient had awoken. 15 years earlier, a different Tomoya stood in this library. He was 12 and alone, taken in as an apprentice. He spent his first weeks shelving books he could not yet read.
If I read every book in this place, maybe I'll understand why the world can be so cruel.
He began that night. Candle wax dripped onto ancient pages. He never stopped.
You always have your nose in a book. What could be so interesting?
Everything. I promised to read all of them. 47,892 books.
That's impossible. But I could bring you tea if you'd like the company.
So the princess returned, week after week. They shared tea in silence, and the library grew less lonely. The years stacked like pages. Tomoya became a young man of 20, buried under words and dust. He had read half. Kaori still brought tea, and deep in the shelves, something ancient waited. 7 more years passed. At 27, Tomoya stood before the last unread shelf.
47,892. I've read them all.
Golden words burned before his eyes. Legendary achievement unlocked. Sum of all knowledge granted. A tidal wave of light erupted from the bookcases, coursing through his body.
Every spell, every theorem, every forgotten truth, it's all inside me.
Pages lifted off the shelves and orbited him like a shield of ink and parchment. The library doors flew open. Princess Kaori rushed in, her face pale with alarm.
Tomoya, the whole castle felt that quake. What happened to you?
I finished them all. And the library, it gave me something. I can hear the books.
At their feet, ancient runes blazed into life, spelling words older than the kingdom. A deep hum filled the air.
Tomoya, these runes are burning with power. Do you understand them?
I read a book once, The Architect's Codex. It said this library wasn't built by the crown.
He closed his eyes, and a spell he'd memorized 10 years ago ignited in his palm.
You just cast magic without a focus. Tomoya, your eyes, they are glowing brighter.
The runes blazed into a circle, and a deep voice resonated from the stone itself.
5 centuries I waited for a mind sharp enough to absorb every page. You are the first.
Who are you? Why would you design a library as a test?
I am the founder mage. This library is my legacy, and you are my chosen successor.
A silhouette rose from the runes, a robed figure wreathed in ancient, angry light.
You will carry my vision into the kingdom. Refuse, and this power will consume you.
The founder mage's form solidified, towering over them like a storm of dead stars.
The kingdom rots with weakness. I will purge the unworthy and raise a true meritocracy. You will be my sword. With your power, you will crush dissent and enforce my perfect order.
Tomoya, this is tyranny. He wants a kingdom of slaves.
I know every law of autocracy. They all end in blood. I've read what happens when one man holds absolute power. I will not be your executioner.
Refuse, and the magic I gifted will consume you. This library will implode, and everyone inside will die.
The runes flared with crimson light. Books rattled on their shelves like frightened birds.
1 hour. If you do not kneel, I will destroy this place and every soul you love.
Tomoya stared at the runes, his heart pounding. Kaori whispered, "We must find another way."
I read his treatise on the failure of absolute rule. He wrote it himself.
A memory crystallized. The founder's own works sat 3 shelves down.
He proved that absolute power corrupts absolutely. His own logic defeats him.
His eyes flicked toward the dusty aisle, where the founder's treatises waited.
Your hesitation reeks of defiance. What foolish hope are you clutching, boy?
I am weighing the cost of becoming a monster. Your own codex taught me to question.
Tomoya, there's a plan in your eyes. I've seen that look before.
His own words will judge him. The library gave me that power.
The library held its breath. The founder's aura flickered, sensing a shift.
Your time runs out. I will have your answer, or I will have your ashes.
I refuse. The crown is not mine to command, and your vision of order is tyranny. Power unchecked corrupts, even the wise. I read it in your own treatise.
You dare twist my philosophy. Then taste the blade you have forged.
A torrent of black flame roared from his outstretched hand, consuming the air between them. Tomoya's palm met the flame. Pages tore from the shelves, weaving into a barrier of ink and light.
Don't give in to him, Tomoya. Every book you've read is a shield.
Black fire crashed against golden pages. The impact split the stone floor beneath their feet.
47,000 books live in me. Their truth is stronger than his rage.
You've read every counter-argument I ever penned. Clever, but not enough.
The founder's form pulsed with renewed fury. The real duel had only just begun.
If you will not be my heir, then nothing will remain.
The library's stained glass windows exploded inward. Shelves toppled, and ancient pages caught fire, their centuries-old knowledge turning to ash.
Stop! You will not burn the books I spent my life reading.
He thrust out both hands, and a torrent of pages answered his call, weaving into a shimmering cocoon around the flames. From a nearby shelf, he seized a thick volume bound in black leather, the founder's own treatise on the ethics of control.
By the laws you yourself inscribed, magic must serve truth, not tyranny.
Those words were meant for my enemies, not for a petulant librarian.
But the library recognized the contradiction. The founder's form flickered, his power dipping as his own treatise denied him.
Keep reading, Tomoya. He can't deny his own ink.
The library groaned, splintered, but Tomoya stood firm, the founder's own words bleaching the darkness from the air. Tomoya flung his left hand. A book of elemental law flew open, and a lance of white fire roared toward the founder. The founder raised a shield of writhing shadows. From its edges, chains of pure darkness snapped outward, coiling around Tomoya's limbs. Another book answered his call. Pages crystallized into a wall of ice, freezing the chains midair.
Tomoya, the third theorem of ethical rule, a system that cannot correct its ruler, is doomed.
Tomoya seized the book where that theorem lived. As he read aloud, the chains shattered into motes of dead light.
Your own logic is my blade. Feel the weight of your hypocrisy.
A slash of pure, reasoned light cut across the founder's ethereal form. The ancient mage screamed, his substance fraying at the edges. But the founder's counterstroke came, a shard of obsidian hate that punched through Tomoya's shoulder. He staggered, blood darkening his robe.
Every wound is a lesson from 1,000 battle manuals. I will not fall.
The library resonated with his will. Books flew from the shelves, their spines alight, and the founder's spirit flickered like a dying candle. Desperate and cornered, Tomoya opened the founder's magnum opus, the principles of eternal rule, and found the fatal passage.
He who seeks to control all shall be controlled by his own fear.
Those words are mine. I did not mean for them to be used against me.
but they are truth, and truth is the ultimate spell.
A column of golden light erupted from the book, swallowing the founder mage in a roar of obliterating truth. His ethereal form detonated into a million shards of fading ink. The founder mage was no more. Tomoya staggered to his knees. The silence that followed was deeper than any he had ever known.
You did it. You actually did it.
The knowledge is still here. We can rebuild.
The library lay shattered, but its heart, the words, remained. And Tomoya would not let them die.
I didn't read these books just to lock them away. Knowledge must be free.
He pressed his bloodied hands together, and the scattered pages answered. They rose, glowing from the wreckage. A massive holographic interface bloomed above him. Every book digitizing into streams of pure light. The ruined shelves transformed into crystalline archives, translucent and humming with stored wisdom.
No more locked doors. No more secrets. This library belongs to everyone now.
The great doors swung open of their own accord. Outside, commoners and nobles alike stared at the glow. A child was the first to step inside. She touched a floating page, and a soft chime echoed.
You kept your promise, Tomoya. 15 years for a single vow, and a lifetime for the world.
Tomoya opened his mouth to answer, but his legs gave way. The magic had drained him completely. Kaori caught him before he hit the stone. The light of the new library pulsed gently around them, a heartbeat of pure knowledge.
Look at what he built. It's yours now. Go on, read.
A little girl brushed a floating page, and a tiny star bloomed between her fingers. An old woman, weeping, cupped a page and learned the word for light. It shone. A guard tried to push through the crowd, but Kaori stepped in front of him, arm raised, blocking him.
By the crown I represent, this library is free. No guard may bar its doors. Let the kingdom witness. Knowledge cannot be chained.
A roar went up, not of anger, but of hunger for the words denied them so long. Kaori blinked back, tears, watching a farmer's boy shape his first fire spell. The library, once a tomb of lonely dedication, now pulsed with 1,000 small magics.
He always believed that every book mattered. Now the world will see it.
On the third day, Tomoya opened his eyes. The infirmary smelled of herbs and old paper.
The library, did it hold?
It's stronger than ever. The books are light now, and every commoner who touched them can cast a spark.
Then the Founder's Trap became a gift to the kingdom.
You've changed the world, Tomoya. What comes next?
We teach them, not just spells, but the wisdom of those 47,000 books. We build a place where anyone can learn.
A university, open to every soul, no matter their birth.
Yes, and I'll need your help, Kaori. I am just a librarian.
You are the most powerful mage in the realm, but still a librarian at heart.
She squeezed his hand, and in that quiet room, the first lesson of a new era was written not in ink, but in hope. On the first day of spring, the Royal Open University opened its gates. Tomoya stood at the lectern, his blue eyes tracing the thousands who had come.
This university was born from a promise I made at 12, but it isn't mine. It belongs to every farmhand, every seamstress, every soul who ever thirsted for more.
A cheer rose so loud the newly built arches hummed.
With this seal, I name you first sage of the Open Academy.
She pinned the golden emblem over his heart, and for a moment, his composure cracked. Magic fireworks bloomed overhead, stars shaped like open books, like keys, like turning pages. Tomoya looked at Kaori, and in her eyes he saw the same fire that had burned in that dusty library for 15 years. The future had begun, not with a sword, but with a book. A decade passed, and the kingdom wore its new magic like a familiar, warm coat. Children raced through sunlit meadows, blue sparks flying from their fingertips. Farmers coaxed stubborn crops from dry soil with a flick of a wrist. Tomoya and Kaori, hair threaded with silver, visited a village school hidden in the hills. A boy looked up from his primer and asked if the legend of the librarian was true.
Yes. Every page. And this moment. It was worth it.
You built an empire where every soul can read the sky.
In cities, healers traced silver runes in the air to mend shattered bones. Architects raised bridges with a hum of old verses, and ships whispered spells into the wind. The kingdom had learned to read, and in that reading, it had learned to fly free. Tomoya, now white-haired, sat in the restored library, a single book on his lap. The floating pages had long since settled, but the glow of knowledge lingered in the air. A small voice broke the silence. A child, no older than he had been when he first made his vow. The child held up a worn primer. Its spine cracked from use.
Once upon a time,
The old librarian's voice, rough from long silence, wove the first spell. The child climbed onto the bench, listening as the story unfolded. Page by page, the old magic passed from one generation to the next. The library's heartbeat grew stronger with each whispered word. Above them, the infinite shelves stretched into eternity, each book a star waiting to be born. When a commoner librarian read 47,000 books, he did more than gain magic. He broke a 500-year trap and denied an ancient tyrant his heir. He refused to become a sword, choosing instead to be a shield of truth. With the founder's own words, he pierced the darkness and freed the library. Then, with his last strength, he gave the books back to the world. He built a university where no birthright was required, only curiosity, and the kingdom learned that magic isn't a gift for the chosen, it's a right. His legacy wasn't the spells he cast, but the books he opened. And so, the library breathed forever, its pages turning with every new dreamer. For knowledge, once freed, cannot be chained again. In the deepest archive, behind books already scanned, a single volume remained untouched. It bore no title, only a lock of silver and a glow that pulsed like a heartbeat, slow and insistent. Even the grand system had not registered it. This book existed outside the count of 47,000. Tomoya had never seen it. In 15 years of reading, he had never turned this leaf. Yet now, as the library slept in the small hours, the silver lock clicked. A single page turned of its own accord, revealing a symbol not of this era, a serpent eating its tail. From the spine rose a whisper, ancient and hungry, like the echo of 1,000 unread pages. The cycle continues. The runes upon its cover flared with a light deeper than the founder's, then faded to silence. Somewhere in the endless stacks, a new story waited to be born, its first page already turning. And so the tale of Tomoya, the librarian who read 47,000 books, drew to a close. But every ending is a beginning. The magic he had awakened did not belong to one man, but to all who dared to read. The library, once a cage, became the world's first window. Princess Kaori carried his legacy forward, a kingdom rebuilt on ink and hope. The founder mage's shadow faded, but his lesson endured. No tyrant ever wins against truth. Tomoya's old eyes still saw the blue fire, but now it belonged to every child who touched a page. A silent promise echoed through the halls. Read and be free. The Royal Open University stood, not as a monument, but as a challenge to every generation. And the title of the story, the one they would sing for centuries, was simply The Beginning. Thank you for watching this tale of the librarian who surpassed every wizard. If you enjoyed the journey, hit that like button and subscribe. Don't forget to ring the bell so you never miss a new story. Your support keeps our library open. Share this video with a friend. Tell us in the comments, what book would you read 47,000 times? Next time, the sword saint who retired to a farm. A warrior's quiet life is about to be upended. He thought he'd left the blade behind, but fate has other plans. Watch the trailer at the end screen and join us for another adventure. Until then, keep reading. Every page is a spell waiting to be cast. This is Manga Dub Studio, signing off. Goodbye, and may your wisdom grow. Before you go, remember to hit subscribe and join the Manga Dub family. Every subscription helps us bring more stories like this one to life. Don't forget to leave a comment. What library would you explore if you could read any story? Share this video with a friend who needs a little magic in their day. Up next, the sword saint who retired to a farm. A peaceful life shattered by a single knock on the door. He hung up his blade for good. But trouble has a long memory. Click the end screen to watch the trailer and set a reminder for the premiere. Thank you for being part of our library. Every reader makes the story shine brighter. This has been Manga Dub Studio. Until we meet again, keep the pages turning. Goodbye, and may your next adventure be as grand as Tomoya's. The library of Tomoya stands eternal, its crystal shelves humming with whispered spells. In every child's first spell, his magic flickers to life once more. Kaori, the princess who believed in a dusty librarian, saw the kingdom bloom with magic. Commoners and nobles alike now read the stars and mend wounds with a thought. The founder mage is forgotten, his name a cautionary footnote in the open library. A single vow, a flickering candle, and 47,000 pages. That is all it took to change everything. Thank you for walking this path with us, dear reader. The story of the librarian ends here, but the library is now yours. Go and write your own chapter. Every life is a book waiting to be read. The end.